Okay, today I'm going to show you how I do my Einkorn sourdough pizzas. The truth is, Einkorn is absolutely delicious and it doesn't have to be a deflated dough. You can get just as much rise on an Einkorn dough as a normal high gluten hybridized wheat dough. You just have to be a little more careful with it yeah, prepare it. So here's how I do my Einkorn sourdough pizza. So the first thing is that you're going to want a very active starter. This is a 100% Einkorn starter. You can see it's extremely active. The smell is kind of interesting. It actually smells like fruity or like candy. It smells much better than a normal dough. Let's get a better angle of that. Than a hybridized wheat flour starter, which is really interesting. You see it's super active, bubbling over. That's going to be important. I would recommend starting with a normal wheat starter and then switching over to Einkorn. This has been weeks and weeks as Einkorn, but I think that's the most effective method to get a very active Einkorn starter. So I'm going to use that. So this next part is going to be pretty basic. I'm just going to take 600 grams of water. Let's see on the kitchen scale. Ooh, 610. Drop that to 600 with a spoon. We're at 600 grams of water. You take 75 grams of the Einkorn starter. 6. You see it's floating very nicely. I'm just I'm watching the scale. I'm holding the camera in one hand, which is clearly not the most effective method. But anyway, there's 675. We're going to whisk that together. I don't know if you need to see all the whisking going on, but you know what? I can always edit it out of the video later. I probably should invest in some kind of stand. Anyway, that's whisked. Now I'm going to take the Einkorn flour, the all-purpose jovial, and we're going to do 1,000 grams of that. So this is going to make about 5 to 6 kind of personal sized pizzas, so it's a lot. So if you need less, you just have to divide everything by 2 when you do this at home. I'm doing a pretty big batch here. I think it's always better to work in as big of a batch as you're able, just for the sake of stretching and folding the dough. Let me turn this off and get it back set up. I actually hope I have enough here. I have just enough for 1,000, I think. This Einkorn dough, as anyone who's worked with it knows that it goes rather quickly. I'm at 990 right now. Maybe this can finish it off. 991. 995. Alright, well, you know what? That's close enough. 997 is fine. Doesn't need to be 100% perfect. Okay, now about 20 grams of salt. And zero the scale. You can go to 20. You can go to 22. I just did 22. 22 is also fine. 20 to 22 grams of salt. It doesn't really matter. Now you're going to take that with your hands and you're going to start making it into a bit of a kind of a shaggy dough. You're going to get all the dry bits incorporated. Yeah. And you're kind of on your way. You're very close to being done. The process is, I'd really use 2 hands for this. Okay, this is about less than a minute later. You can kind of see it's all absorbed. Einkorn tends to hydrate a little faster, a little easier than normal doughs, make it a little sticky. I mean, this is 60% hydration, and it feels like more, but it's not. So that's okay. I'm gonna I really need 2 hands for this. Kind of wrap it into a little bit of a ball shape. The other thing I did want to show, but I couldn't do it because my head, I can't carry a camera at the same time, is you do kind of want to take it and create kind of this ball. Just kind of pick it up, fold it over itself, pick it up, fold it over. We're still in the stage of it hydrating. This is like a firmolise, auto-lease, but it's not. It's with the starter, so I guess it's a firmolise. Anyway, just enough to get a ball shape, and then you leave it for an hour. So that's good to go. Might be interesting to see. This is a normal high gluten flour, and you see this is some stretch and folds I'm doing to maybe this is the last set of stretch and folds I'm doing for this flour. But you see how easy it is to work with. It's not sticking on your hands or anything. It's very easy and satisfying. But you'll see later with this einkorn, it's not going to have any of this kind of smoothness. It's already, you see, it's going to really maintain that through the whole process, this kind of shaggy texture, kind of wet texture. It's not going to be, rough texture. But that's okay. That's part of the, I realized I had my hand on the microphone. But anyway, it's okay. That's part of the process. This is, you made a commitment to einkorn, and you're going to live with it. So just see it through. So I've come back to it. This is how it looks. It's been actually maybe 40 minutes. It really doesn't matter. It depends on how hot your room is. It could be somewhere between 35 minutes to an hour. This was about 45 minutes. So we're back. I'm going to do the first set of stretch and folds, and then we're going to cover it back up. So just going to wet the hands a little bit. I'm going to take it. You have to use my body to pull it, but you pull it very, very gently and just fold it down. It's einkorn. It's not going to stretch like crazy. So just feel it, stretch it. Oh, see, it already tore. So it's not, but it's okay. This is the first set. It's fine. Everything about einkorn, you just have to be very gentle. I'm just going to pick it up. I really need two hands for this. Okay, so I've come back to it. I need two hands. Anyway, we were at the balling stage, so you just take it, flip it up on itself, kind of come around it, and just kind of grate it. Put it in a nice ball. Every time you finish working with it, really, just ball it up. It's going to make it easier down the line, instead of having some kind of floppy dough. And you see it actually balls pretty nicely, right? Yeah, there we go. So it's sticky, all right, much stickier than a normal dough, but it's not crazy. It doesn't need to be some great mystery. So it's good to go. And we come back in whatever it is, 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, I'm about to do my second set, I think, of the stretch and folds. I decided not to hold the camera anymore because it was a lot of work. It's been about 30 minutes. I got a little bit impatient. That's why I'm doing it now. It doesn't really matter when you do it. It does matter within, 25 to 45 minutes. The biggest thing is you just don't want to let the dough over ferment in general during this whole process that we can call bulk fermentation. So you're seeing just stretching. I'm not getting crazy stretches. You're not going to get that with einkorn. You just feel it out as much as you can. Not bad though. I'm going to do one more. Then I can take. I'll do one more. Boom. So I'm going to take that. To kind of start to ball it up. Be gentle with it. Don't beat it up. You don't want to do that with the einkorn. You got to be very gentle. It proceeds to rip it. No, I'm just kidding. I am being pretty gentle. So you see, it's becoming a smooth ball, Some fermentation. Don't expect to see a ton of bubbles. That's fine. That's more for your conventional flour. Anyway, we're gonna wrap that up. I'm using plastic. I don't have anything else for this bowl, and Pyrex doesn't sell 4-quart bowls on Amazon, so with the lids attached. So this is what we're left with. Anyway, so we're gonna come back. I think we do one more. Then we'll talk it through. I'll put it in the fridge, but before that I might let it rest even a little bit longer. I don't know. It's been pretty hot today. I have a dough meter. I just ate, by the way. That's why I'm still chewing on something. I have a dough pH meter, or just pH meter for food. It's very helpful. Obviously, it's not necessary, but I would recommend it just to get an idea of where your doughs are at, regardless of temperature and all that. I find it very helpful. So anyway, we're going to do one more stretch and fold though within 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and reassess. Okay, this is going to be our last set of stretch and folds. And here's what the dough looks like now. It's wet on my hands. Go around 4 times about. 2, 3, 4. In the later stages of the stretching and folding, you really want to try not to tear it when you're doing the stretch and fold. So just kind of work it off of the bowl, and then at that point you should be able to pick it up and fold it in half, fold it in half, do that, and you know, you got a nice smooth ball pretty soon. So I think that's good. We're about done with the stretching and folding. Take a look at that. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna get a dough reading on this bad boy. pH reading, just to understand what the pH is. It smells really good. Something special about Einkorn. It's a powerful grain. So that's next. You don't have to do the pH reading. Obviously, you skip that step. But I'm in a very hot room right now. It's probably about 82 degrees. This definitely doesn't need a bulk ferment for more than an hour more, but the dough reading, the pH reading, will solidify. I'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. Okay, just to reiterate, this is an unnecessary step, but I will show you because honestly it's kind of interesting. Here's the pH meter. I'm assuming it's going to be something like 5.4, but let's take a look. Okay, it's 5.53, so that's a little bit early to put in the fridge, which I assumed. Usually there's about an hour to an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if you're in a cold climate, or maybe even 3 hours. But anyway, you want to ball something around well actually we're not balling yet. You want to put it in the fridge at about 5.1, 5.2, 5 is okay. Anything into the 4 is 4.9. You're just getting a little bit low for Einkorn. That's when we put it in the fridge. From that point, we can leave it in the fridge for up to 3 days. So I'll come back to this in about an hour, and we'll take a look at it and hopefully ball it up. Keep saying that. We're not balling anything yet. That's coming later. Just put it in the fridge. Yep. So I just got distracted by something. I had to leave the house. It's been about 3 hours. Way too long in this heat. It's about, like I said, 82 degrees, I think, in this house. So I checked the pH meter and it fermented to about 4.6, which is too low. You should really put that thing in the fridge 5.2, 5.1. But I'm cooking this tomorrow, so it's all going to work out, and this is a sign to you that it doesn't matter too much. But you know, you can check the consistency. You won't have a pH meter, but it's too sticky. It will work for me tomorrow, but because I'm going to cook it tomorrow, so it's okay. But ideally earlier. This is a little too slack, but you'll see the results. And yeah, but I wouldn't leave this in the fridge. Definitely not for multiple days. So it's all going to work out, but that's the way it works sometimes, because we get impatient. I get impatient, and I don't want to sit around and watch my dough all day. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for cooking. Okay, it is now midday of the next day. This is our Einkorn dough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 10 minutes, let it warm up just a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a piece off and I'm gonna cook for you. About the size of a pizza crust, so 350 grams. And then I'm going to make that and put the rest in the fridge for, I think I'm gonna use it 2 days from now. So I know I said not to use it 2 days, but I think it's all gonna be fine, but I wanna cook one now for the tutorial. So normally, the best thing to do, let's just say you were ready to cook a day from now or 2 days from now, would be to 16 hours before you wanna cook, around the night before, around, you take out all of this dough, separate it, and you ball it. Like I'm gonna show you how to ball the dough right now to make it into that size. Then you put it back in the fridge, and then you take it out, Einkorn, an hour, 2 hours before you're gonna cook, you're gonna make your pizza. But today it's gonna be a little different. I'm gonna cut the slice of dough I'm gonna use, I'm gonna put the rest of it in the fridge, and I'm just gonna let it warm up on the counter, and it's gonna be about an hour until I fire up the pizza. So let me do that. I'm using scissors. Normally I'd use a bench scraper. Even better would be maybe a knife, sharp knife. And I'm just gonna cut a piece out that I think is representative of the size that I'm looking to use. And I'm just gonna try to be gentle with it. Yeah, that's good. Okay, this is about right. I'm gonna take that, put that aside. Actually, I really should put it in the fridge. Anyway, so what you're gonna do is, let's just say this is a piece of dough that you have. You wanna kind of put the ends together, fold it in over itself, and take it and roll it on the counter to the best of your ability, not too hard, and just pull it towards you until you get a nice tight ball. It's Einkorn, so don't feel bad that some of it's gonna still be sticky. It's part of the process. Pull it towards you, pull it towards you. I'm gonna say this ball is a little small. This is probably 250 grams. So you probably want it a little bigger for a personal pizza, or pizza for two, 300, 250, but for the purpose of what I'm doing today, it's fine. So, you see, that's a ball, it's a nice ball. Pick it up the best you can, put it on a plate, and that's going to be ready to go in approximately an hour. Okay, so it's bake time. What you're going to do is you're going to take rice flour, sprinkle it on your board, take some rice flour, sprinkle it on your Einkorn. This is a regular flour dough I have, and then an Einkorn one next to it. Scoop it up with the scraper. Put it in the rice flour. You're going to use a lot of rice flour because you really don't want this thing breaking on you. That's pretty crucial. Take it, put it on your board. Maybe you don't need that much flour. You know, because the thing is too, if you use too much flour, it's going to be like a burnt taste, burnt flour taste. You don't want that. You know, start from the inside, push out, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side, and then you might be able to get away with stretching it a little bit, but you're gonna have to be very careful. And to be honest, I would really, you know, if you break that pizza, it's all over. So do it to the point you feel comfortable, but very little, I'd say, for Einkorn. You know, when you see the people have it on the knuckles and they throw it around, that's all gluten flour. That's all flour that's very high in gluten. Einkorn is obviously not like that. So, this is the pizza we have now. See, it's going to slide right off, which is going to be good for later when we put it in the oven, but not for right now. I'm going to take some of our tomato sauce. I wanted to use a different kind of tomato sauce. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do something a little strange and radical, and that's going to be put on the cheese first, and then put on some scoops of tomato sauce. Because I was looking at it, I really, I definitely want a fully cooked dough, and I've been experimenting with really trying to make it just fully cooked through, and where you can really taste the elements of each ingredient. But obviously you don't have to do it like this, and do it however you want. This part is the easy bit once you have your dough. tomato sauce. We'll see how that goes. Maybe it's going to be ridiculous. First time doing it like that. Some basil. Now, so this is what we have right now. Let's see, is it still sliding? That's good. We want it to slide a little bit. Take this pizza peel, not too much flour again. I'm trying not to use as much flour, but you have to use more flour, then you just got to do it. I'm going to take it. Beautiful. And now I'm just going to flip that camera around to the oven. I'm going to check the temp. You probably don't have one of these at home yet. 800 degrees, but I highly suggest you get one. Yeah. So that's it. I'm going to drop the temperature a little bit on top so it doesn't burn. Let me bring this over, take a look. Yeah, it's cooking in there. And I'll tell you when it's done. So, normally I wouldn't cook it for this long, for a typical, what's called Neapolitan style. But what I did is I dropped the oven flame when I put it in. And that was because I really want to make sure that bottom is all the way cooked. Because if the bottom's not cooked, you know, you don't want to have a soggy dough or anything, you know. Also, when it's more time, it's also more flavor. So I was really open to that as well. But it looks like I'm just, you know, the crust looks through. The tomato sauce still looks a little watery. I'm going to have to adjust that. But maybe that's because I put it on top, which might have been my fault. So anyway, I think it's ready to go. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. Check the bottom. I think it looks good. All right, pulling it out. Okay, this is my Einkorn sourdough pizza. And I'll show you guys the inside and when I take a bite. Good cook. Let's cut into it. Beautiful. So, let's take a look at that. That's the middle. I make 4 beautiful pieces. You see how much it boiled? You know, if you're doing this for like a big family or something, don't expect to have ginormous pizza slices, you know, that's part of the Einkorn thing. But look, it's beautifully cooked in the center, and well, I'm gonna have a little taste. Okay, here we go. That's actually, I'm not messing around. It's actually delicious, and I like the fact the tomatoes are on top. The dough is really cooked through. That's why I think it's good to have gas, because I can lower the flame. That's so good. Woo. That's exciting. Because for a while I was actually using too much rice flour, and you know, and I didn't have a perforated pizza paddle, and it was a little bit burnt to the taste. I don't know if it was that or the wood. And people liked it. I served some people, but it's, I like that you can make sure these good flavors come through. I was using really good ingredients and things, you know. I don't want to lose that in the process. So anyway, very exciting, very delicious, and yeah, I don't know. See you soon, I guess. I don't know if I ever make another one of these videos. Bye for now.